interesting guest. Brian McClanahan will make his way back, and I am still trying to work something out with Lou Rockwell, so should be a fun week. Thanks for listening.
Become a smarter libertarian in just 30 minutes a day. Visit TomWoods.com to subscribe to the show for free, and we'll see you next time.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up! We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 MHz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.fm.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.fm running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.fm comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to SaveItPurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm. The latest edition of FPP Radio News is next on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.fm. Get more at fppradio.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. Silver's trading at $17.02 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,315 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $53, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,858. Antiwar.com reports Syrian forces continued their offensive into the northwest Idlib province, seizing at least 14 additional villages from the rebels as they tried to advance against the Abu al-Duhur air base, which has been under rebel control since mid-2015. Idlib province has been held by rebels for years, and the number of rebels there has continued to grow, with evacuation deals around the country seemingly always leading to new factions being imported into the tiny province. With most of the major territory taken elsewhere, the Syrian military seems to have decided to finally contest Idlib itself, and these early indications are that they are making quite favorable gains, putting the rebels under even more pressure. Though many of the rebel factions will likely struggle if they lose their territory, groups like Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front will probably follow the strategy of the Islamic State of just disappearing into the countryside and turning back into an insurgency.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpendABit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpendABit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. spendabit.co.
UPI reports an increasing number of Americans identified as independent voters in 2017, while the two major parties are near their all-time low in popularity, according to a Gallup poll. The poll found that the percentage of Americans who identify as political independents last year increased to 42% from 39% during the 2016 presidential election year. The percentage of independents increased for the first time since 2014, when the number hit an all-time record high of 43%. Gallup said the dip in independent identification in 2016 and recovery in 2017 is a typical pattern for a presidential election year and the year after. Latent partisanship in some independents is likely activated in the highly political environment of a presidential campaign, but fades once the election is over. Gallup said the average over the past 8 presidential elections has been a 1% increase, although the increase has tended to be larger since 2005. The percentage of Americans who identify as politically independent is near its all-time high and remains the most popular political preference, while neither the major parties appear to be gaining in popularity. The percentage of Americans who identify as Democrat fell to 29%, which tied the party's all-time low in 2015. Americans who identify as Republican slipped to 27%, which is only 2 points above its all-time low of 25% from 2013.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
The Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. Silver's trading at $17.02 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,315 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $53, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,858. Antiwar.com reports Syrian forces continued their offensive into the northwest Idlib province, seizing at least 14 additional villages from the rebels as they tried to advance against the Abu al-Duhur air base, which has been under rebel control since mid-2015. Idlib province has been held by rebels for years, and the number of rebels there has continued to grow, with evacuation deals around the country seemingly always leading to new factions being imported into the tiny province. With most of the major territory taken elsewhere, the Syrian military seems to have decided to finally contest Idlib itself, and these early indications are that they are making quite favorable gains, putting the rebels under even more pressure. Though many of the rebel factions will likely struggle if they lose their territory, groups like Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front will probably follow the strategy of the Islamic State of just disappearing into the countryside and turning back into an insurgency.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpendABit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpendABit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. spendabit.co.
UPI reports an increasing number of Americans identified as independent voters in 2017, while the two major parties are near their all-time low in popularity, according to a Gallup poll. The poll found that the percentage of Americans who identify as political independents last year increased to 42% from 39% during the 2016 presidential election year. The percentage of independents increased for the first time since 2014, when the number hit an all-time record high of 43%. Gallup said the dip in independent identification in 2016 and recovery in 2017 is a typical pattern for a presidential election year and the year after. Latent partisanship in some independents is likely activated in the highly political environment of a presidential campaign, but fades once the election is over. Gallup said the average over the past 8 presidential elections has been a 1% increase, although the increase has tended to be larger since 2005. The percentage of Americans who identify as politically independent is near its all-time high and remains the most popular political preference, while neither neither of the major parties appear to be gaining in popularity. The percentage of Americans who identify as Democrat fell to 29%, which tied the party's all-time low in 2015. Americans who identify as Republican slipped to 27%, which is only 2 points above its all-time low of 25% from 2013.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports a federal judge on Monday threw out a criminal case against a Nevada rancher and 3 other men over a 2014 standoff with federal agents, saying prosecutors had repeatedly withheld evidence from the defense. U.S. District Judge Gloria Navarro dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning that rancher Cliven Bundy, 2 of his sons, and another man will not face another trial. Navarro had declared a mistrial last month. The judge's decision was a rebuke to prosecutors in the politically charged case, which arose from Bundy's grazing of cattle on federal land without paying fees for 2 decades. His defiance galvanized right-wing groups challenging U.S. government authority over vast tracts of public land. Bundy emerged from the courthouse to cheers from about 100 supporters and said he still did not recognize federal authority over the land where he grazed his herds. Navarro told a packed Las Vegas courtroom that prosecutors made several misrepresentations to the defense and to the court that amounted to misconduct and prevented a fair trial of Cliven Bundy, his sons Ryan and Ammon Bundy, and Ryan Payne. She said more than 1,000 pages of FBI memos were kept from the defense until well past an October deadline. Prosecutors appeared stunned after the judge's decision, and the Bundy family members wept in the spectator section. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
After years of weekly meetings with his psychologist, local man Chris Vaughn told reporters today he was excited to only have 2 sessions left before completely resolving all of his emotional issues and never having the need to return to another therapy session again.
When I started therapy, I knew if I could make it through exactly 120 50-minute sessions with Dr. Warner, then all of my issues with depression and crippling anxiety would be gone. Next week we're covering my parents. The week after that we're wrapping up my trust issues, and then I should be good to go.
According to Vaughn, it took 40 sessions alone to fully resolve his feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem resulting from an unhappy childhood. Vaughn's therapist, Dr. Susan Warner, told Onion reporters that she's pleased with her patient's progress and relieved that his long-time emotional and cognitive issues are nearly solved for good.
I told him that getting healthy would take at least 100 hours of therapy, and now he'll never have to see me again. Thank God for that. That guy was a real piece of work.
This is the Onion News Network.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Cold Set Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Birdcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say. And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus Network satellite.
This is
the Cold Set Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
All right, here it is. It's the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Welcome back. Another afternoon edition live here on LRN.FM. Call to Freedom, guys. We are actually back. This is 2 days in a row. We are doing a 5-day-a-week show, guys. I wasn't playing around when I said that we were going to be doing this every single day from here on out. 5 days a week, 4 to 7 p.m. here, the Call to Freedom. We've got with us a new member of our cast tonight from Galactic Systems. You guys probably recognize that name from some of the free money you guys got yesterday. Mr. Mike Laurie is with us.
Howdy.
And then also in the studio, he's going to be giving us a Liberty Lobby update today. Big decision in the New Hampshire State House, Mr. Darrell W. Perry.
Thanks for having me on, Will.
And then joining us remotely, my co-host, as always, from cryptocurrencycheck.org, Miss Aria Demezio. How you doing, Aria?
I'm doing great. I'm glad we made it to the second day in a row. Hopefully we can, keep our professionalism intact.
Yeah, that's doubtful, but we'll try. Professionalism, what's that? What was that? What's the thing that Mike?
That's when you get paid.
Well, I get paid. Well,
technically, when you get paid, you're a professional.
Okay, well then I get paid, sort of. I mean, I get paid.
We're all right then.
I get paid, but then I take every bit of the money that I get paid. Like, I'm not getting paid anything for the first 3 months that we're on the air.
You're reinvesting into the show.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are all going to get paid, but all the money that's coming into us, and Aria's given up like half of what she's been promised for the show. So we get paid, but we definitely put all that money right back into the show because we want this to be the most successful libertarian drive home show, which means the only libertarian drive home show. We've got some stories we're going to be covering today. Aria, you brought a story to us a little earlier. What was that story you put up for us today?
Well, it wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't?
I think it was Mike.
Yeah. That was our wonderful man of the year in the crypto community, Jamie Dimon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to get to that when we get done with the Crypto Hour today. Actually, the first story we're getting into is it's part of why Daryl's here. Massachusetts basically is going to comply with federal prosecutors in the case of marijuana.
What? I have not heard this. I was up at the State House for half of the day, and then the other half of the day so far I've been running around taking care of things that I should have been taking care of this morning while I was at the State House.
Yeah,
so I've not heard any news about Massachusetts. I did hear that Vermont, apparently their Senate is supposed to wind up passing a legalization of cannabis bill tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, their State House passed it last week. Their Senate is scheduled to pass it tomorrow. Their governor has said he would sign it. The New Hampshire State House passed a tax and regulate legalization bill today for the second time because they passed one a couple of years ago as well.
Well, this is actually
and then I just got an update that the bill apparently is not going directly to the Senate. It's going to the Ways and Means Committee, so they're doing some
shiftiness,
trickeration, if you will.
If it means something
Ways
where
and Means.
They jack up the taxes on it to justify passing it, saying, "Oh, we're going to increase state revenues."
Well, the governor was asked earlier today, and Will, I'm not sure if you're able to pull up the Twitter video that I sent on the Telegram. If you actually look at the Telegram on the
I've got Telegram right here.
No, on the computer here in the studio. That way you can play it over the air. Yeah. Governor Sununu was asked if he would support legalization, and in more than a few words, said no. He would not.
Huh.
So the fact that the governor has said he's not going to support it, I wonder how much that plays into the refer this to Ways and Means as sort of a delay tactic before sending it to the Senate, to where it basically winds up adding another possibility for it to wind up dying before going to the governor to get vetoed.
Huh. Well, the story actually that we've got here is along the lines of the government saying never mind. As this basically sounds like is the case here in New Hampshire with the governor doing so. It says here, U.S. attorney throws future of legal pot in Massachusetts into doubt, according to the Boston Globe. The state's top federal prosecutor on Monday refused to rule out a crackdown on voter-authorized marijuana industries, prompting howls from advocates and politicians and moving Massachusetts to the forefront of the battle between the Trump administration and dozens of states where cannabis is legal. I cannot provide assurances that certain categories of participants in the state-level marijuana trade will be immune from federal prosecution, says U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts Andrew E. Lailing.
All right, so this is slightly different than what you said earlier. This is the federal prosecutor saying that, well, I'm not ruling out enforcing federal laws here, which is different than the government of the state of Massachusetts saying that they're not going to wind up rolling out the tax and regulate that's supposed to roll out in July.
Well, you've got State Attorney General Maura Healey saying she doesn't feel that Lailing's statement has offered sufficient guidance. But that's really all that she says on the issue.
Why is she looking to the feds for guidance?
Right. Well, it says here, Lailing will assess on a case-by-case basis whether it's worth using the limited federal resources allotted to clamp down on marijuana operations.
And those federal resources allotted, the last time I looked at the budget, were zero.
Yeah, exactly.
But to answer your question of why are they looking to the feds for guidance is because back in, 2013, then Deputy Attorney General Cole issued a thing saying that the federal government would not try to enforce federal cannabis laws in states that have passed some form of legalization or medical program. And then last week, Jeff Sessions said, yeah, throw that out the window. We're still going to enforce laws. So when you've got a federal law that conflicts with state law and you have federal prosecutors that are prosecuting people or potentially prosecuting people, then, yeah, somebody's going to want some guidance of, hey, wait, mom said one thing, dad said something else. Who do I listen to because dad's bigger and stronger and can whoop my ass?
Well, here's something to consider. And under common law and the basis of our constitutional system, in any given county, the sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer.
In theory.
And when federal officers are actually operating in a given county, under the law, they're supposed to, number one, notify the sheriff that they're there, and number two, get his authorization, because if they're not either a state police officer, they have to go to the sheriff for authorization to engage in law enforcement activity. Otherwise,
in theory,
they're under color of law rather than actually enforcing the law.
And what's that got to do with the federal prosecutor, who is neither a sheriff nor a police officer, nor a DEA agent, nor any other sort of law enforcement person?
The point is that if the states want to protect themselves against federal encroachment, the simple thing they need to do is have a law that says that the sheriffs cannot authorize federal officers to enforce the federal law in their counties.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Hi, I'm Clint Webb, and I'm running for Senate. I have a short cropped haircut, a pretty enough yet accessible looking wife, and a newborn baby that I've dressed in a suit to prove to you that I mean business. For the last 15 years, I've lived my life in such a bland, uncontroversial, and repressed manner that it's almost unnatural. Why? Because I've been preparing to be a representative since I was a child. Most well-adjusted, sane men would be hesitant to take a job where their decisions would so drastically affect the lives of so many. But not me. I possess a sort of sociopathic narcissism that makes me think that I should be in charge of everyone. But all of that needs to start here at home, in this beautiful state that I've grown to love since I moved here 18 months ago. Together, we can piggyback some of our state's legitimate needs onto my unquenchable lust for self-glorification. And that's a promise.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it! You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you got to keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from our VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. If you're listening to us internationally, we're coming to you live on our BitPlus Network's free-to-air satellite system. Joined in the studio today by Mr. Daryl W. Perry and Mr. Mike Laurie. We have a whole new cast. It's a whole new show, basically, coming to you live every day now, 4 to 7 p.m., and giving away free
Not every day, Monday through
Friday, 4 to 7 p.m., and giving away free cryptocurrency. So don't forget to listen for that sound, the sound of the faucet running, or that Galactic Systems satellite targeting you for an airdrop. And be sure to call in and win yourself some free money today. Aria with us via our upload as well. If you want to be a part of the show, go ahead and call in 603-283-6160 or Skype on our LRN.FM listener line at Skype. And, so where are these state rights Republicans on this issue? That's what I want to know. So you got Charlie Baker. He is the Republican governor of Massachusetts, and I don't hear him saying, I looked. I don't hear a peep out of him. Federal prosecutors saying they're going to come into his state and arrest voters in his state for engaging in an activity that voters in his state overwhelmingly approve.
Right, but just because the voters in the state approved it doesn't mean that he approves it.
And states' rights Republicans are really only states' rights Republicans when it's Democrats running the federal government.
Pretty much.
It's just like when are the Democrats anti-war? Only when Republicans are in office.
That's right. And when are Republicans super, super religious about debt and not spending a lot of money?
When
a
they're
Democrat
the minority.
has his,
or when Bill Clinton's president and the Republicans have the House and the Senate.
Right.
And then, they were also worried about where Little Willie was going when Bill Clinton was president.
Really, Big Willie and Little Willie were always in trouble one way or the other. And then that gave us Hillary Clinton.
I always like to say Democrats are just Republicans that have been laid off, and Republicans are just Democrats that have been mugged.
Right. It's really good, actually. Now, we've got here a video from the New Hampshire governor.
Yes.
Chris Sununu. Now, here in New Hampshire, they just passed a legalization bill. And
overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
The vote was like 203 to 136 or 207 to 136, something like that.
Two-thirds of the... So enough to override a veto.
Maybe, but again...
Or they need like 7/8 to do a veto here.
No, you need 2/3, but again, there's 400 members of the legislature, and so it all really depends on who actually shows up on the day, and then there are the people that they might support it now, but they wouldn't support overriding a veto, and that way they can say, well, I voted for it, but I also support the governor.
Okay.
You've got to play the political games, Will.
Yeah. Play the game. Play the game. All right, well, we've got the governor of New Hampshire in his own words here in a little 26-second clip that we're going to play. Nope, maybe not.
That sounds like some jazz music, which is what happens when you smoke the reefer-wana.
Are you kidding? We're in the middle of one of the biggest...
Let's go
legalizing marijuana for recreational purposes in front of the House. Is that something that you could support?
No.
Why not?
Why? Are you kidding? We're in the middle of one of the biggest drug crises the state has ever seen. To go to a full recreational marijuana when other states are seeing it, all the problems that has in other states, and seeing the issues it's bearing, it's definitely not something that I'm supportive of right now.
One of the
What problems, and B, the drug crisis that's in New Hampshire is an opiate crisis, which marijuana has been shown over and
it's
over
a
again.
Manufactured opiate crisis produced by the DEA.
The problem of we can't arrest as many people.
Yeah, there you go.
We don't have as many people in our prisons, and then that winds up hurting our buddies that run the private prison that we've given a no-compete contract to, and also signed an agreement saying that we're going to make sure that they stay at 95% capacity. That's the problem.
Well, the Massachusetts Attorney General essentially said that. Whether or not it's going to be cost-effective, excuse me, you people have a job to do. It's your job to enforce the law.
Is it cost-effective for the judges' pension plans?
Yeah, right.
I mean, whether or not it's cost-effective to prosecute someone who is breaking the law shouldn't even be a factor. I mean, if somebody is doing something wrong, they're doing something wrong.
Right, well, wrong and illegal are not necessarily the same things.
I know. I'm speaking from a statist point of view, obviously.
Right. And then, you have to look at some of the other strange things that are on the books that nobody knows when the last time it was actually enforced. And I can think of a couple that are on the books here in New Hampshire. One of them stating it is illegal to put anything other than milk in a milk container. And another stating that it is illegal to collect seaweed or rockweed at night below the high tide line.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody knows when the last time either of those was ever enforced, but they're still on the books.
Well, there's like a city in Alabama that you're not allowed to chew gum or eat ice cream on Sunday or something like that.
I know people always talk about that. I hear
I
like
felt
a water
something
leak.
down my leg.
Sounds like a water leak of some sort.
I don't know. I think that's our VertCoin faucet that's going off right now.
Might need to call
I think we need somebody to call in. 603-283-6160 and get yourself some free money. That's 6160, 603-283-6160, or call us on the LRN listener line at Skype, LRN.FM. Get yourself some free money. Call right on in right now. And, so back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, so,
well, it's actually concerning to
a
me
nation
that
of laws.
it's
Are
illegal.
we a nation of laws, or are we a nation where
we're a nation of men?
Things just wind up being randomly enforced?
Far too many laws, and they don't all agree is the real problem.
Well, and they're only enforced on the people that can't afford to fight back.
Right, so they're randomly enforced.
Exactly that.
So we're not a nation of laws.
I mean, it's not even random.
We haven't been for a long time.
What's the rule? It's the every person violates
3 felonies a day is the claim.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah?
Yep, me too.
I do too.
That's a slow day, though.
Right. All right. Well, if you want to be heard here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM, give us a call at 603-283-6160, and we'll be back with a whole lot more right after this.
There's smoke down by the river. Hear the cannon and the drums. I've got one thing to ask you, honey. Can you run? You know I
Call to Freedom.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at SurvivorMax.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Yes, it is snowing outside again, it looks like. Either that or my eyes are just bad. But it looks like it is snowing again here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Up here in the Shire. Can't wait for our normal co-host, Miss Aria Demezio, to make her way up here so we can do this together in the studio. How you doing, Aria? When you going to be here?
Definitely when it stops snowing in the spring.
So, like August.
Yeah, right? Now,
I hate cold weather, and coming up there in the middle of winter does not sound like the best idea.
It was balmy today. It was a whole 35.
I mean, I was cold in June when we were up there.
It was 35 degrees today. That was phenomenal. I'm just like, geez, wow.
My phone showed that it was 40. Just a little bit ago.
The snow started melting. That's all I care about. Finally,
the
water
only problem
on the road.
The only problem is there was that thin layer of ice up under some of the snow, and as it all melted away, and I'm loading up the boiler, I slipped on some of the ice and landed right on my hip.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm hurting right now.
So we do have a caller on the line. Woo-hoo! We have John in Philly on with us here. He has just made a phone call and won some free money. He's getting 1.7 Vert coins. That's $11.55 at current market prices of Vert coin, John. So, John.
Cool.
What show loves the fact that you got cryptocurrency so much that we'll give you a little for free just so you have some?
Call to Freedom.
That's it. All right. Thanks for calling in, John.
Yeah, thank you guys. Good luck.
All right. So back to this whole thing about, you've got the voters. They want to see in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire, they want to see marijuana legalized. They're tired of the police wasting the money on it. They're tired of the police throwing their
based
their
on opinion polls, voters across the country by overwhelming majorities.
That's right.
Want at least the war on marijuana to go away.
But isn't that the argument for statism, that people need to be protected from their own excesses?
It's
okay, then let's ban McDonald's and Burger King. Let's ban Wendy's.
They are.
They are. Yeah, the left is trying. What do you mean?
The only fast food place that can exist is Chick-fil-A because they sell grilled chicken sandwiches. They didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich.
Oh, okay. Even though I was eating chicken sandwiches at McDonald's in the 80s.
Give us money, Chick-fil-A.
Before Chick-fil-A was around. Better, too. Better chicken sandwiches.
You're saying McDonald's is a better chicken sandwich than Chick-fil-A, or Chick-fil-A is a better chicken sandwich than McDonald's?
I thought McDonald's back in... I think it's just nostalgia, but the 80s McDonald's chicken sandwich was the most amazing thing that ever existed. And the... Oh, wait. The fish sandwich from Dairy Queen. Like, it hasn't existed in 25 years.
That was
But-
better than the Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's?
Oh my God,
All right,
so much better than the Filet-O-Fish. It's like the greasiest thing on earth. They
So
take
the
bun-
fish sandwich at Dairy Queen was not at every Dairy Queen. That was only a select Dairy Queen thing, because
We
I
only
worked
got
at
it
a
on-
Dairy Queen when I was in high school. We did not sell fish sandwiches.
We only got it on Fridays. You could only get fish sandwiches at the
Oh,
local
you must have
Dairy
lived in a
Queen.
Catholic town.
You could only get we were Southern Baptists. This is rural East Tennessee mountains. It's all.
I just know that
Baptist.
Catholics do the whole eat fish on Fridays, no meat.
Yeah.
Because the Pope said that thing that time.
I have no.
The Pope, he wears the funny hat and
but
lives
that's,
in Rome.
That's not all the
I
time.
know who
That's
the Pope
just
is.
during, what, Advent or
Well, no,
Lent.
it used to be
Lent.
an all the
Lent, yeah,
time,
during Lent.
Every
only
on
fish
Fridays.
on Friday.
Yeah.
But then, another pope said, well, no, it's only during like Pentecost or Advent or something.
Lent.
But between
Ask
Lent.
the religious expert here.
It's
Lent. That's the thing. I'm not Catholic. I just know
Well,
the
I
Pope
am,
wears
and
the
I
funny
don't
hat.
remember. You know, I actually, I was raised Catholic, and I didn't even remember. So.
I was raised Pentecostal. I'm currently Muslim. I'm not Catholic either.
So the
I know
Catholic
that
guy
you don't
doesn't
eat
know
meat
what
on
we're
Lent.
talking about.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's not just meat though. Like some people
I
abstain
don't
from
go
other
to church
stuff. They're like,
anymore. I haven't
I won't have
years,
sex
so.
during Lent. You know, like they just want to have sex during Lent, and that'll be their fasting. Or, some people
Oh
don't
yeah,
drink
you give up
during Lent.
something that
Yeah, something you love.
you like a lot.
So, yeah, something that you love. So yeah, some people give up food. Some people give up beer. Some people give up, chocolate. It's different things that you're
Right.
sacrificing in order. It's like fasting, only not really.
Right.
You don't have. It's fasting. You just don't have to be hungry. You can still eat. You just have bread and water, which is
Oh, so like if your favorite thing is crypto, then you have to stay to what?
hodl.
Doge.
You've got to use ferns.
Dude, Doge was up to 3 cents a piece yesterday.
Whoa.
I saw it at 3 cents and was like, "Hold on, let me transfer all
Didn't
this
the
over
market
here."
cap of Doge hit like $1 billion a few days ago?
Yes. Yes.
It's becoming a great micropayments currency.
So the whole thing about like the exchanges and stuff using Doge, the Litecoin and Doge exchange options on some of those are all closing now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It said the one on Cryptopia was like because of the fact that we don't know how or when we're going to be able to actually set up this Litecoin and Doge exchanges again. Everything's being suspended, and there's no more sales. All sales and buy orders have been canceled, and all your money's been given back. And yeah, so like you can only.
What does that even? I mean,
so on Cryptopia, you can only do the dollar tethers, the New Zealand dollar tethers, and the Bitcoin now. You can't do the Doge or the Litecoin anymore. Yeah, and it's the same thing's happening on HitBTC because there's some Doge trade.
well, I won't use
exchanges there.
HitBTC anymore, anyways.
I don't like them at all because they keep some of your money no matter what you do. Even if it's 75 cents, and I'm just like, yo, that's my 75 cents. Give it
There's
up.
some kind of phishing scam going on with people using BTC, signing you up for an account there with your email, and when you go on there and try to cancel it, they won't let you take control of the account that's in your name.
Oh, no.
So I won't touch HitBTC. It's just
interesting.
Well, if you want to weigh in on some of the stuff we've been talking about here, you're welcome to call 603-283-6160. So Cryptopia has completely taken down all of those other exchanges. I'm seeing that happening on HitBTC. And I don't understand why, because it was like Doge was going through the roof, and everything was. It was a great currency to use for exchanging because it was easier to do exchange rates because Doge is worth roughly a penny. So as long as you can multiply by 100,
I think it's only easy
so
to
you
exchange
can't have gone
things.
to public school.
It's really only easy to use things where there's a mobile wallet. Because otherwise, it requires you to have your laptop with you or your desktop, and people generally don't carry that around with them.
Yeah.
I bought lunch earlier today using crypto, using the web wallet on my phone, using Dash.
Well, like you can get like the Electrum wallets and stuff like that on here on your phones. You know, like I think Electrum has like 2 or 3 different currency wallets that you can install on your phone. There's like a Bitcoin wallet and a Vertcoin wallet and an Electroneum wallet, which is supposed to be mineable on your phone. I don't know. I've been trying to get a hold of those guys. Yeah, exactly. That was my response as well.
Mineable from the phone?
It is designed to be.
Bilocoin made that claim as well, and they turned out to just, I mean, most of them who say that turn out to be full of crap.
Well, this is supposed to be something that's like, it's done with like your phone and your laptop working together. And I don't know, they're worth like 17 cents now.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Are you making sense to the boomer mindset? I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. 80 million baby boomers comprise 25% of the population and control most of the USA's wealth. As aging parents pass on, they'll control more. Boomers are 46 to 65 years old and regard themselves as midlife. They identify as neither young nor old. They're post-minivan and pre-retirement, and they don't like being called boomers. They think me. Many of the purchases boomer couples make are individual purposes. They've been experimenters all their lives. If you want their attention, tell stories and keep it simple. If something seems complicated, boomers can dismiss it as, I don't need this. And if you're looking for work, you may be applying to a boomer, so relate accordingly. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom. Live
So not used to having those.
.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from our VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, coming to you internationally, if you understood that last bumper, on our BitPlus Network's international free-to-air satellite. Joined in the studio today, it's Will.
And Mike.
And Daryl.
And joining us remotely from Mississippi, we've got Aria with us. How you doing, Aria?
I'm great. On the subject of, mining with your phone, though, I wanted to get this in before the break, but this is an area for proof of stake to really shine, and they're not doing it. I mean, what is the device that everyone has with them at all times that is always connected to the internet and could always be out there staking? It's people's phones. So instead of mining with the phone, which would just, cause it to overheat and kill the battery, you could have Blackcoin or something like that, a Blackcoin wallet, staking your coins and doing that same basic concept.
And, this is one of the things to where, proof of stake is one of those things to where it could mean multiple things. So it could just mean that you have a full node or you have a wallet, although the way it generally winds up being implemented, it means you were one of the first people to get in and you have a lot of the coin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, what about, so that makes newer investors way lower on the totem pole.
Right, that's why if there was a different implementation to where stake just meant you have a node,
yeah,
then it doesn't matter if you got in on day 1 or if you got in on day 1,000.
Yeah.
But, proof of work has the same problem. Bitcoin mining has become so prohibitively expensive, whether you're spending $10,000 on a ASIC or $10,000 on Blackcoin so that you can stake it and actually make money from it. Either way, it's going to require a sizable initial investment at this point if you want to get into it and actually make money.
Don't forget even having a stake in Dash. What's the stake there now? It's what, 1,000 Dash?
Yeah,
and so 1,000 Dash
is
$1,100
currently at
$1.1 million.
$1,100.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
Dash is around $1,100.
Yeah. Dash for the 1%. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Litecoin is at about $250. Zcash is about $669. Zencash is $58 right now.
On the plus side, having people build, the early adopters building up a stake like that, make sure that the early adopters are people who are essentially crypto people like us. And if it was easy for anybody to have a stake down the road, then you've got with any sort of coin that's enabled to do that, that's the sort of coin that's going to get taken over very easily by people who may not be crypto people. They may be, pump and dump people. They may be government or bank people, that sort of thing. So,
like what happened to Bitcoin?
Well, yeah, like right now, median fee for Bitcoin is about $17. So, and to me, that's the actual value. Like from now on, if we ever announce Bitcoin value, I'm not going to tell you how much it is. I'm going to tell you how useful it is. It is $17 worth of not being useful at this moment.
So the real question...
Yeah, it is useless.
The real question, since we were talking about proof of stake, what is your favorite cut of steak? Me? I like a good sirloin.
Oh, man, I got to have a ribeye, The fattier, the better. Oh, yeah. Just
I want it to good sirloin cooked medium.
I want it super fatty. I want you to heat the grill up till it's literally glowing. I want you to just rub it with a little bit of butter, and throw some seasoning on it, and then burn it on the edges. And I want it to basically, I want it to be like a living cow with third-degree burns.
I'll take a T-bone, and what you got to do is you get rid of the grill. Okay, you just have this bed of coals, and you slap it on the coals, and then you flip it and slap it again on the coals, and then you're done.
The grit from the coals, man, I just can't do it.
I have no preference for steaks.
Are you one of those vegans?
I'm not.
No, you'd know if she was a vegan because she would have told you 3 times already today.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me of the joke. There's a vegan, a Bitcoiner, and a CrossFitter that walk into a bar. How do you know? They all tell you as soon as they walk into the bar.
I made a post the other day on Facebook about like Quranist and modernist Muslims are like the ones that like they automatically as soon as they meet you they're like I'm Muslim but I'm a Quranist.
Yeah, and you left out the atheist.
Oh yeah, atheist too, man. As soon as they meet you, hi, I'm Will. I'm an atheist. Well, I mean I'm not, but you know.
I've never done that.
I heard a term a couple days ago.
You're more of an agnostic, though. You have the ability.
No,
to
I'm
be
a straight-up atheist.
Really?
Oh.
I heard a term a few days ago that I had never heard before. An omnitheist.
That's a pantheist, basically.
Yeah. That's what I would assume it was. It was just a pantheist.
Yeah, the person that told it to me, they had heard the term from somebody else, so they couldn't really define exactly what it meant. But it was just, I've never heard of that before.
Well, a pantheist has...
No, I've heard that. I've never heard omnitheist.
Okay, so they have a range of known deities. An omnitheist is someone who just says, believe in everything.
Khalas.
Yeah.
Unitarians.
Yeah, Unitarian Universalists.
Yeah. Are they pantheists or omnitheists?
Well, according to most Christians, they're definitely not Christian.
How the hell did we even get on this topic? We started out talking about like proof of stake coins, and the next thing you know, we're talking about
well,
eating.
you know, we are on a religious topic here.
Yeah, right.
It was about proving stake, and then the vegan walks into a bar, and
yeah, proof of stake.
Yeah.
And vegans.
I like proof of crab legs as well.
I could definitely go for some crab legs, right? Ian, call the sushi place. I want sushi now. All of a sudden, I got to get the producer to call sushi.
The local Chinese buffet that had crab legs at night wound up going out of business.
I didn't
know
there was a local Chinese buffet.
It went out of business last summer.
Oh.
So it's no longer there.
Of course.
Yeah.
I miss all the good stuff.
There's none left in Keene?
There's nothing
Not
in
Chinese
Keene,
buffet.
yeah.
There are Chinese restaurants, but none of them
What
are
does the Jewish
buffets.
community do on Christmas?
Here's what you get. Oh, no, there's like Chinese food restaurants. That
There's still a ton of Chinese restaurants, just no buffets.
Here's what you got, okay? You've got a Japanese place that's run by Koreans, and you have a Thai place that's run by Chinese people. And so, like, we have everything. All the different kinds of food you could ever want. We just don't have those kinds of people.
It's not authentic.
The Mexican
it's
restaurant,
all culturally appropriated.
The Mexican restaurant's actually run by people from, like, where is it, Honduras?
Yeah.
Or Belize?
All the Mexican restaurants are run by Puerto Ricans. And
does Puerto Rico have its own cuisine?
Where's the ACLU, yo?
Does Puerto Rico have its own cuisine? I wasn't aware that they did.
I don't know.
I lived in Florida around a ton of Puerto Ricans. Yeah, they got their own cuisine. Like it's like the one thing I remember the most is the soup that they make, and it's got like roast pork and I used to eat pork a long time ago. Roast pork and vegetables, and instead of pieces of corn like cut off the cob, they cut the corn cob and all in like 1.5 inch chunks. So it's like the round of the corn cob with the corn still on it, but it's like a piece like 1 inch wide.
Yeah.
And that's in the soup. And you're supposed to like put your fingers in this boiling, scalding hot soup and dig this stuff out and eat it.
What? They don't give you a spoon?
Pañeta! I don't think we can get in trouble for saying that on the air, can we? Because nobody except for me and all the Puerto Ricans understood what I just said, right?
Yeah.
So
the FCC is not going to fine you.
Yeah, right. They don't care.
Only if this was a Spanish language station would they.
Right.
You know.
But even then, we're not on broadcast radio.
We're trying not to get the main stations and the guy in Philly and all those guys that are brought in. Well, we won't get in trouble in the Philippines.
And the show will be getting uploaded within a couple of weeks to iHeartRadio, which does broadcast rules. So
we have
can't say the S word, can't say the F word.
I was actually going to, when I was driving down here, that occurred to me to ask if we were going to be doing that.
Yeah. I'm getting all of that lined up. And what just happened?
I don't know.
Like everybody just stopped talking and started playing banjos. I hear banjos, paddle faster.
All right, when we get back here on the other side of the break, it's the Crypto Hour. We're going to be joined by BitPlus Network's Ben Topper here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. Silver's trading at $17.02 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,315 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $53, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,858. Antiwar.com reports Syrian forces continued their offensive into the northwest Idlib province, seizing at least 14 additional villages from the rebels as they tried to advance against the Abu al-Duhur air base, which has been under rebel control since mid-2015. Idlib province has been held by rebels for years, and the number of rebels there has continued to grow, with evacuation deals around the country seemingly always leading to new factions being imported into the tiny province. With most of the major territory taken elsewhere, the Syrian military seems to have decided to finally contest Idlib itself, and these early indications are that they are making quite favorable gains, putting the rebels under even more pressure. Though many of the rebel factions will likely struggle if they lose their territory, groups like Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front will probably follow the strategy of the Islamic State of just disappearing into the countryside and turning back into an insurgency.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need SpendABit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. SpendABit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. spendabit.co.
UPI reports an increasing number of Americans identified as independent voters in 2017, while the two major parties are near their all-time low in popularity, according to a Gallup poll. The poll found that the percentage of Americans who identify as political independents last year increased to 42% from 39% during the 2016 presidential election year. The percentage of independents increased for the first time since 2014, when the number hit an all-time record high of 43%. Gallup said the dip in independent identification in 2016 and recovery in 2017 is a typical pattern for a presidential election year and the year after. Latent partisanship in some independents is likely activated in the highly political environment of a presidential campaign, but fades once the election is over. Gallup said the average over the past 8 presidential elections has been a 1% increase, although the increase has tended to be larger since 2005. The percentage of Americans who identify as politically independent is near its all-time high and remains the most popular political preference, while neither the major parties appear to be gaining in popularity. The percentage of Americans who identify as Democrat fell to 29%, which tied the party's all-time low in 2015. Americans who identify as Republican slipped to 27%, which is only 2 points above its all-time low of 25% from 2013.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports a federal judge on Monday threw out a criminal case against a Nevada rancher and 3 other men over a 2014 standoff with federal agents, saying prosecutors had repeatedly withheld evidence from the defense. U.S. District Judge Gloria Navarro dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning that rancher Cliven Bundy, 2 of his sons, and another man will not face another trial. Navarro had declared a mistrial last month. The judge's decision was a rebuke to prosecutors in the politically charged case, which arose from Bundy's grazing of cattle on federal land without paying fees for 2 decades. His defiance galvanized right-wing groups challenging U.S. government authority over vast tracts of public land. Bundy emerged from the courthouse to cheers from about 100 supporters and said he still did not recognize federal authority over the land where he grazed his herds. Navarro told a packed Las Vegas courtroom that prosecutors made several misrepresentations to the defense and to the court that amounted to misconduct and prevented a fair trial of Cliven Bundy, his sons Ryan and Ammon Bundy, and Ryan Payne. She said more than 1,000 pages of FBI memos were kept from the defense until well past an October deadline. Prosecutors appeared stunned after the judge's decision, and the Bundy family members wept in the spectator section. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
NASA's recent discovery of water on Mercury has led to speculation among scientists that the planet could potentially sustain an intergalactic space prison housing the universe's worst criminals. Scientists believe that organic compounds found on the planet's surface could be useful for creating an off-world space Australia, where strength is the only law. However, they caution it is too early to say whether or not fights among the space jail's prisoners would be broadcast here on Earth for the entertainment of wealthy gamblers. But NASA's lead researchers do say that Mercury's ability to support human life raises important questions about who the prison guards would be.
Perhaps the guards themselves would be space mercenaries, or maybe we'd just use robots.
The robots would have guns for hands.
Well, obviously.
Critics inside NASA caution against funneling too many resources into the Mercury project when it would be so much cooler to build a prison on the moon ruled by clones of the prisoners themselves. Researchers encourage the public to read their findings, which have been released in the form of a graphic novel titled The Mercury Cipher.
This is the Onion News Network.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom.
All right, welcome back here to the second hour on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM Crypto Hour here We'll be joined by one of our sponsors today from BitPlus Networks. In a little while, we're going to have Mr. Benjamin Topper with us. It's been pretty decent episodes so far. But we're going to have, like I said, we're going to have Ben Topper. He's not quite here yet, unfortunately. He's supposed to be dropping by today to give us an update on what's going on in the world of BitPlus Networks and merchant services with cryptocurrencies. But before that, I had a kind of a funny little feel-good story here I thought we'd share with you. It comes from Bitcoin.com. It says Japanese virtual currency girls group to promote the knowledge of cryptocurrencies through entertainment. Each of its 8 members represent a cryptocurrency: Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Ether, Neo, Ripple, NIM, Monachan, and Cardano. So what is this?
This sounds like something I'd like to look into.
Well, is this like hentai for crypto nerds?
I hope so.
They've got like little wrestler masks on and everything. They're like these little Japanese girls, and they've got like these luchador-looking masks on.
So we're getting someone's taken crypto ball from memes into Japanese TV.
Yes.
Excellent. Now there's a lot more imperative for me to come out with my Bitcoin fork. Bitcoin Uranus.
I'm telling you, man, you got to go to that new automatic forker and do that, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so on the line with us now, we've got Ben Topper. Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just a little bit under the weather, but other than that, I'm feeling great.
So I hear, Ben, you've got some updates for us on what's going on with BitPlus Networks, and that since we spoke to you last a couple months ago, when we first brought up the idea of you of your company sponsoring the BitPlus Network satellite, you guys have had some changes since then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're still sticking with our main plan, but of course we've learned things along the way, because we're although we wrote a white paper, we're not white paper people. We're on the ground people, and we're trying to learn from what works best and what doesn't. But we're sticking with our main plan, which is our Interactify, and that's our interaction management system. It helps merchants to manage their phone calls, social media, emails, communication, and it routes them to agents that are best suited to handle those calls, using some technology that traditionally has only been available to large enterprises. And we're providing this to businesses of all sizes. And then we have our other product, which is the Acadia Point of Sale, which is a point of sale platform for small and medium-sized merchants. We're sticking with our plan. But we're focused more on a specific type of merchant. There are larger merchants that have larger budgets, and those merchants require more customization, and they have the budget to pay for that. And these are merchants with multiple stores, so we have a platform for them as well. But what we're focused on right now is basically competing with the solutions like Clover or Square, where a lot of the merchants are locked in and they're forced to pay really high fees on their merchant processing. We're about giving them choices and options, and that's what we're doing. So, yeah.
I liked your comment earlier about not being a white paper person, because I feel the exact same way. When I started Galactic Systems, I started off writing a business plan, not a white paper. I'm a business guy. White papers.
Type of person, sure.
Yeah, white papers are for academics and bureaucrats. And it's
exactly.
If you want to start,
we're on the ground type of people. We have a plan, but we're not trying to reinvent the wheel necessarily. We're trying to do the things that merchants are used to. We're trying to understand what their needs are, how we can solve their needs first, and make that our first priority, and then make the cryptocurrency adoption secondary after we establish this trusted relationship, after we become the trusted advisor.
Awesome.
And that's our core focus here.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, one of the things that I think is really cool about BitPlus, and one of the reasons why we approached them, it's similar to the reason why we wanted Helium and Vertcoin as well, is that they're thinking about the normal guy.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not inside that crypto box. You know, like I may live on Discord servers and in Telegram chat rooms and in all these different rooms that are devoted to like talking about all this stuff, but the average guy doesn't. And even though I do, I still am a technological illiterate. You know, like I can't put a wallet that requires me to put a full node and do updates and all that kind of. I just can't do it. Like I gotta ask somebody to help me because I'm just retarded like that.
Oh, you're with the GUI generation. If it's not a fuzzy buttons and all that sort of thing, then
it's just I'm from my dad's generation. Like my dad's going to be 83, 84 this year.
Yeah.
Like he worked in a factory and we hoed beans and tobacco and swung hammers and mowed lawns and ran the bush hog. You know, like that's what I do. You know, I didn't grow up. I didn't go to college and tech school and all that kind of stuff. I went to college to learn history and theology, not how to send email.
When I learned to program, I was actually in the 6th grade. And,
really?
And my dad was an engineer, and he had assigned to take this class in basic programming at the local community college for just something for the company. And he dragged me along to these, and he figured that I was just going to sleep through the stuff, but I picked up. That was my start of programming, and so then the next year there was one computer in school. It was like a TI-99. And I started writing programs. Casino programs like poker and blackjack and roulette, and you just goes from there. So yeah, and we were doing command line interface stuff most of the time pretty much all the time back then. There were no GUIs, and you learn, and that was I wasn't that was only 12 years old, 10 years old, and
but the average Joe isn't doing that.
Even my generation, I remember my first computer was a Commodore 64.
Yeah, same time.
And then I remember we had an IBM, a 286, and then I had a 386, and the younger generation, they're not used to doing that sort of thing. They grow up with the technology, and it's just they don't really think about much about how it works or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I gotta say, hearing this and hearing you both describe yourselves as not white paper people, I mean, it's really concerning regarding cryptocurrencies as a whole, because a white paper is supposed to be a technical document.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they become these marketing promotion things.
Well, not even that, because I review white papers for a lot of companies, and most of the time, white papers are really nothing more than wish lists. Okay, and
yeah,
it's you go in there. Not only
a lot in the crypto world, we see a lot of people with really big ideas, and they're not a lot of action.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're different. We don't know what the future is going to bring. We believe in the cryptocurrency. We're crypto people, but we don't know what technology is going to win the day. So we're really focused on the relationship building. And being the company that provides that relationship. And if people think, regardless of what happens, we're here to establish the relationships with the merchants. So that's really what our focus is to really understand what the merchants' needs are, to try to solve their needs first and foremost. For a lot of merchants, cryptocurrency acceptance, isn't a perceived problem. So for us, if we focus on solving their problems first.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up! We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 MHz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.FM. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Which one you can go this way?
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa.
Hey. Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait
now.
Wait a minute.
Forget the road.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me.
What
am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
Like the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom on LRN.FM. أنتم تستمعون إلى The Crypto Hour. يقدم إليكم برعاية Helium.com على برنامج نداء للحرية على LRN.FM.
Live from the Verticoin studio, this is the call to freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium 47 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, you colorify to get some free coins. This is the call to freedom.
That's right. It is the call to freedom here on LRN, broadcasting live from a Vertcoin studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. I am joined in studio tonight by Mr. Mike Laurie from Galactic Systems, and by remote, but with our normal co-host, Mr. Aria Gray from CryptocurrencyCheck.org. And for today's Crypto Hour, we have our special guest from BitPlus Networks, Mr. Ben Topper, on with us. Thank you again, Ben, for joining us tonight. We know you're not feeling well, so we're going to try to make this short. But we wanted to hear, like, there's some of the new stuff that you guys. I heard you guys got some new some new merchants that are carrying your software and your hardware in Maine, if I'm not mistaken, that I saw online. And I also saw that maybe there's some new branding and stuff happening.
Yeah, absolutely. We're kind of separating the product from the token event and promotional stuff that we're doing, and mainly for a lot of reasons. One reason being our banking partners. The other reason, we wanted to brand it with Maine. We started off in Maine because they are up in Maine. It is a couple years behind the rest of the country in some ways. So it gives us an opportunity to really learn from people in more of a small town setting. And this way, people are, talk to each other, and we can start off with the smaller merchants and understand what the problems are. Without, if we focus in on a really big market, where there's a lot of, hustle and bustle, it's not, they're not going to have the patience to deal with that. So that's why we're focused. We started off in Maine, but we've also planted seeds in other parts of the country, and we have independent sales agents coming on board that are selling the product in different areas as well. And we actually like to reach out to your listeners. If they'd like to become an independent agent as well. And that's a great opportunity for people, who want to work locally with the merchant. If that's their passion, if that's something that they enjoy doing, we're looking for those people. And that's what we're going to be promoting here on the Call to Freedom for the BitPlus Network. Soon to be, what's the new name, the new branding that's going to be put out there? Yeah, it's called Acadia Point of Sale, named after Acadia National Forest. Okay, so then that's basically here on the Call to Freedom. What we will be advertising for is people to work as reps for Acadia Point of Sale, to go out and find businesses that want to install Acadia Point of Sale in their businesses, to basically sell this great point of sale system that, I really think that they came up with a good idea here. A lot of other systems, and I like AnyPay, I like BitPay, I like a lot of these other things. I don't have anything against them, but what they focus on is the fact that we're all nerds and we all like cryptocurrency and we want to be able to spend cryptocurrency. But to the average merchant who owns like a pizza shop, and I know that that's not a really good example here in Keene, New Hampshire, but to the average merchant who owns like a deli stand, or is doing plumbing or whatever, like, they don't care about this internet World of Warcraft, Microsoft Gold money. Like, to them, that's what it is to them. So what BitPlus did that I thought was cool was they were like, you know what? Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on what these customers are actually needing, which is credit card point of sale. And what we'll do is, instead of being like, well, you already have this thing that you have, and we're going to give you one more piece of hardware you have to deal with and one more computer program you have to train your staff on. What they said was, you know what, we're going to give you what you already need, credit card point of sale. But now you also have the ability to accept cryptocurrency. They didn't lead in with something that they literally, like the average merchant.
So it's essentially a point of sale system.
Yep.
That also does crypto.
Exactly.
So, and because it's really, the merchants they want to be able to take everything and not fill up the whole shop.
Yep. I think that's brilliant. Yeah. I think it's beautiful. That's why we went to them. We're like, look, we want to be the everyman's cryptocurrency show, and you are like the every merchant cryptocurrency program. So let's get together and do this. Awesome. Like, let's get our listeners to work as representatives, and that's what we're doing. We're going to try to get people, like, if you're listening, hey, out there in the listener world, you want to make some money, start selling Acadia point of sale services to businesses in your area and get the whole world hooked up on crypto by hooking them up to Arcadia networks.
I know a few up in my area that could have been looking at this sort of thing.
Oh, I've been hawking it in Africa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my in-laws own a shopping mall in Africa, so they're trying to get 4 or 5 of the stores there to look into putting this in.
Yeah, we love the digital world that we live in, and I'm just so impressed with these crypto communities where people from all over the world are collaborating and talking about problems. I was talking with someone in Argentina the other day that was telling me how the banks lock them in, and they actually mandated a law that requires Visa and MasterCard acceptance, and he was telling me the rates start at 10% and can be as high as 14%. Apparently, I can't verify if that's true or not, but I did look up the company that he mentioned, and I saw that it's owned by First Data, which is a large merchant processor. We're lucky in the U.S. in some respect that at least there's a lot of healthy competition between lots of different merchant processors that exist in the U.S. And the competition is always good for the customer. And we're free market people, and we believe in competition. But the reality is that the cryptocurrency stuff is very powerful, and the merchants can start using it. But we treat that as something secondary. We don't actually talk about it when we're talking to the merchant. We talk about the things that they care about, like getting discounted equipment, getting set up and lower processing rates. That's what we're all about, is helping them with their primary problem first.
All right, now real quick, if you want to work for Acadia Systems, what's the email address? Where should people contact you guys if they say, all right, I live in Manchester and I know 5 businesses, I think I could get signed up with you. How should they contact you?
There's actually a form on the bitplus.network website, and you can fill it out, and it just asks you a little bit about your experience. There's some basic questions that you can answer there, and we'll be in contact with those people. It's a great opportunity to start earning not just money up front when you get a merchant, but start earning residual income on these merchants. So when you get a merchant on board, if you treat them right and you service them well and provide solutions to the problems that they have.
We're gonna have to cut you short there, Ben. We'll be right back.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement, and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you AMP Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 Liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM, broadcasting live from our Bitcoin studios here in the Shire in Keene, New Hampshire. If you want to call in, the number is 603-283-6160, or call us up on Skype at skype.lrn.fm. If you want to start investing in cryptos without having to do any busy work, we're introducing Helium, a long-term savings accelerator powered by Uphold.com. Helium, with an E, watches conversion rates between cryptos and fiats for you so that it can convert your funds just when the time is right. Just add your funds to Helium from your bank account or digital wallet and you're done. The rest is completely automatic. Helium, let your money move you. Sign up today at helium.com/CTF. That's HELEUM.com/CTF. And we're back here on the Crypto Hour on LRN.FM's the Call to Freedom. So, Mike, you had a story for us about we got some crypto naysayers
our
out
favorite central banker type, Jamie Dimon, who always has something interesting to say to give us something to talk about. And so he's just came out on Fox Business with Maria Bartiromo admitting that he was wrong about Bitcoin. He says it's real. The blockchain is real. You can have crypto yen and crypto dollars and stuff like that. ICOs you have to look at individually. And then he says the Bitcoin to me was always what the governments are going to feel about Bitcoin as it gets really big. And because apparently $750 billion isn't big enough to be big to J.P. Morgan. And he has a different opinion than other people, but he's not interested much in the subject matter.
J.P. Morgan does handle the United States food stamp program, so I guess that isn't very big to him.
You know, a trillion here, a trillion there,
a trillion there, whatever. 6 trillion.
I mean, I have to give the guy
mandates.
credit for coming out and admitting that he was wrong.
Well, yeah, I wondered whether it was his board of directors or his daughter that gave him that smacked him upside
Someone
the head.
definitely said, "Hey, you need to stop sounding like an idiot in front of the world."
When he first came out with his announcement that he thought it was a fraud, he had cited his own daughter, who has apparently made a lot of money in Bitcoin, and he said now she thinks she's a financial genius, as if she's not intelligent enough. And I was wondering after that.
She's smarter than he was, evidently.
You got to wonder what her relationship with her dad was at that point and after he said that. I mean,
right. What's always the Bitcoin naysayers are the ones that you look at them and you're like, why does anybody even care what this person says at all? You know, like Krugman. I mean, really, you want to take like technological advice, you know, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency,
or economic advice,
cryptography. Like, okay, he has a. I mean, I don't agree with his economic theory, but he has a Nobel Prize in economics. So I mean, if you see that, you know, that whole the fallacy, appeal to authority, a fallacy of he has like this big award in economics, so maybe he's worth listening to, but he has no degrees in cryptography or computer programming or anything.
I can't remember about that to the average person. I mean, these are people endorsed by the state.
But I can't remember the last time I read a Krugman article where he actually sounded like he actually knew what he was talking about on economics.
Well, this is the guy that told us that the internet was going to have the economic impact of the fax machine.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically...
Well, yeah, and then the dot-com bubble happened. Everybody went, see, he was right.
Yeah, right. And now look at what's happened, though. Like what rose from the ashes of the dot-com bubble is like an entire culture built around the internet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who was right in the end? Everybody but Krugman.
You know, the dot-com crash was, like I say about a lot of bubbles. If a bubble is based on technology, what it really is an adoption curve where the mass market, the mass of the people are adopting the technology along an exponential S-curve of adoption. What happens is that when you have a, quote, bubble, what really is people have an adoption curve they're following on a new technology, and the government steps in and tries to shut it down or interfere with it and just make it non-feasible. And that's what was happening with the internet, because there were a lot of early digital currencies that were going on in the 90s, and things were really starting to develop with a lot of the ideas in crypto back then. Along with a lot of other great technologies that required high bandwidth. And the legislative mission for the Congress in the 90s with regard to the internet was to pass the Telecommunications Reform Act so that it would enable the regulations for telecoms to send fiber to every home. And instead, because of cable company lobbying, they changed it in committee so that it required that the telecoms would have to give access to their customers to their own competitors for less than their cost of putting the fiber in. And so the telecom says, well, we're not going to do fiber to the last mile. And that collapse in the use of fiber optic into everyone's homes spread across the industry, and it caused the implosion of WorldCom, Global Crossing, and ultimately Enron, combined with some of Enron's other stupid ideas. And
fair warning, that's going to happen in cryptocurrencies as well.
I'm sure the government's going to try, but the problem...
they're going to have to. They're going to have people screaming for it in 2 or 3 more years, screaming for regulation because of all the ICO scams out there that, almost no one is doing anything about, because so many of them do turn into get rich quick schemes.
Well, I think all the more reason why we need stuff like what our co-host Aria Demezio has put together over at cryptocurrencycheck.org, where basically it's an inside the community, kind of like a Wikipedia, and people go in and they write about and rate ICO tokens and coins so that people don't get crap coins and scam coins and things like that. So go over and help her out. It is a community-based, volunteerist, kind of like an agorist, crowdsourced rating system, like Yelp for cryptocurrencies. So go over to cryptocurrencycheck.org and give Aria a hand. Check out the work that she and her team have already got done. Her investigative team will be investigating coins and ICOs that we bring on the show.
Awesome.
And sometimes you'll get to help us roast them over an open fire if they're scam coins
I'm looking forward to that.
or built on shoddy technological promises.
But you know, there's also things like
shoddy
helium that
status
serve
promises.
as gatekeepers to keep the average person away from these shoddy coins.
I mean, we don't want the government doing that.
How do you rate Ripple? That's what I want to know. What kind of rating does Ripple get over there?
I haven't touched Ripple yet. It won't be good though.
Yeah.
Token Pay is the same basic concept, and we said, look, it's not a scam, but philosophically,
it's
we
not
totally
crypto.
reject this.
It's a coin, but it ain't crypto.
Yeah.
Put your money in Zencash instead.
But, you know,
put your money in Vertcoin instead. Put your money in anything instead
lots of people
Ripple.
from oldies to newbies are putting money in to Ripple.
Yeah.
And what's sad is that most of the money going into Ripple isn't coming from fiat. It's coming from Bitcoin and Ethereum and so forth, which is really
They're
sad.
draining the air out of our balloon and replacing it with their worthless crap bank.
Oh, that's the fiat scheme every time, isn't it?
Yep. Ugh. Ugh. Just makes me feel dirty knowing that there's people out there that are like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing in the world. We should just jump right on it." Because I've been pumping crypto since like 2012, and to know that there are people out there that like I could have turned on to crypto that are now just like all up in some Ripple and just loving taking a bath in that government, Federal Reserve loving. Please regulate me. It just
Love and Losky.
Man, it just gives me the willies, bro. All right.
They couldn't stop the Pirate Bay.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment walking down the street to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America. as well as sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
You are listening to Call to Freedom's Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार के क्रिप्टो आवर को, जिसके प्रस्तुत करता है Helium.com.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. We're broadcasting live internationally on our Bit Plus Networks satellite here from the Vertcoin studios in the Shire, Keene, New Hampshire. Our beautiful little crypto community. If you've not been here yet, you really ought to come on down. Let's see here. I've here in just in Keene, New Hampshire, I've had my my engine repaired using Bitcoin. I have bought many things using Dash. We go out to eat about once a week using Dash. There's at least a half a dozen, maybe more restaurants in downtown Keene area where you can use multiple cryptocurrencies. I'm happy and lucky enough to live right next door to Route 101 Goods, where I can go over there and I can grab some soap. You know, like if I go to take a shower and I'm out of soap, I can go right next door and buy soap with Vertcoin.
But can you buy brownies?
I cannot, but I can buy Moxie. Yeah. I can buy a bottle. I don't like Moxie, but I can buy a bottle of Moxie or a bottle of Coke. You know, I can go over and buy a Bitcoin Core T-shirt with Vertcoin if I want to, or with Bitcoin Gold. I actually made the very first Bitcoin Gold purchase in history.
As I was mentioning earlier, the T-shirt. My T-shirt story.
Yeah.
There's this hot new T-shirt in the crypto community that says "Just hold it." And it's got the sort of a Nike logo sort of thing, but it's made from the trading candlesticks you see in the exchanges. And so I was like, I want that. So I shop online and I get referred to T-Stream, I believe it was. And I ordered it. And I said, hey, I'm buying a crypto shirt. I got to pay with crypto. So I used my Shift card. And I paid, and they accepted the order. And then next thing I know, my crypto's been sent back to my Coinbase account, and I get an email that they canceled the order. And I'm like, what? So I
got my crypto shirt on. If you're watching on the cameras on the LRN website or on Twitch, hello to our Twitch listeners. You can see my awesome new crypto shirt I just got today on the camera right now. I have like my own little collection of multi-shirts, and we've got some shirts that we're designing right now that are going to have the Vertcoin logo and the Helium and the BitPlus logos all kind of worked in, and they're going to be pretty boss. They're going to look better than this thing I've got on right now.
Oh, we need to get some Galactic T-shirts made.
We're working on it. I can't wait. Like I said, I want to get like some of the sponsors together, and we'll do like a Coinbase isn't crypto shirt, you know, stuff like that for like the hardcore crypto fans who just are not happy about the fact that, you know, you have this statism, this desire to please the central planners, you know, when the whole purpose of crypto in the beginning, man, was to undermine these people, not to get in bed with them.
Right.
Yeah, well, a lot of the thinking...
And now people care what Jamie has to say?
For real. Who gives a rat's behind...
It's like you're the guy we're trying to get rid of.
This is the funny thing is that Quartz, there were a number of places reporting on what he had to say, and the blog Quartz said their title on it was that Jamie Dimon sounds like a party guest pretending to know what Bitcoin is.
Oh, that's great. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. It's like the shoe shine boy trying to give you trading advice. Oh, yeah. Take him down. Sit down, boy. Sit down. What's that? When you see a boy, you just whoop his ass and send him home to his mama. That's Jamie right now. Just sit down. Sit down, son. So, no, what was the? There was something else to go along with. Was that it on your the story you brought with us?
Yeah, he's been talking here about he's looking for government intervention on at least on the ICOs, that they all need to, that each one needs to be looked at on a case by case basis, and he was just concerned how the government.
But that's what Cryptocurrency Check does.
Right,
It's not the government.
And he wonders what the government's going to feel when it gets really, really big. And so, what does he think is really big? Is that is that $1 trillion market cap, $2 trillion market cap? At what point is he think the government is going to actually start coming down and treating Bitcoin as a real threat to their own monetary control?
If you hear that sound in the background,
when it's too late.
That's our Galactic Systems satellite overhead. It is looking for somebody's house that it can post up an airdrop. Call in right now, 603-283-6160. Be the lucky one to pick up our Galactic Systems airdrop tonight. We just happen to have the gentleman from Galactic Systems right here with us right now.
Hey, folks.
Mike Laurie. But if you want to get involved in Galactic Systems regain control of your virtual identity, communications, money, and property with Gridphone, and Galacticoin. Tear down the walled garden business model. Galactic Systems, restoring liberty and building an open metaverse. Learn more at galacticsystems.net. So call in 603-283-6160 or join us on our LRN.FM Skype line. And we've got some free money. Our Galactic Systems airdrops are all $10 of a random Coinomi supported coin. So give us a call. Go ahead, Mike.
We're gonna just random.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a random coin, $10 of a random Coinomi wallet supported coin. So if you open up that little thing where it says add coins, just look through there. Anything that's less than $10 a piece, you're going to get some of that.
There you go.
So give us a call here again at 603-283-6160 for that free money. Back to the story with Mike over here. We've got the Bitcoin naysayer. He's made a fool of himself. His daughter evidently has made a whole heap of money. And, he just looks like a dummy with egg on his face.
Yeah, I didn't think he'd get... I would suspect he didn't get much in the way of Christmas presents paid for with Bitcoin.
Ho, ho, hodl, hodl, hodl. Oh, looks like we have a winner on the line here.
Hello?
Caller, Joshua.
Yep, that's me.
Where are you calling us from, Josh?
From Las Vegas.
All right, so we got Josh on the line from Las Vegas, Nevada here, and let's see here. Let's give it a little spin, and let's see what you're going to end up with today. No. He wants Ripple. All right, so we have $10 of 9 coin.
9 coin?
IX coin. 9 coin.
Okay.
IX. IX coin. Now, if you'll hold on the line, we're about to go to break, and while we're on break, I will get some information from you, and we will send you your coin out this evening, all right? So hold on.
Is that on a Koinami wallet?
That is correct.
Okay, I'll be ready.
Hold on, I'll be right with you. All right, so... wrong one. All right, there we go. So, yeah, all right. So we got one more winner. That's another winner today. We've given away about $22 in free cryptocurrencies today to go along with the $32 that we gave away yesterday. So our 2-day total free cryptocurrency in 2 days, we've given away about $54 worth. Those currencies provided by the generous donors over at the Vertcoin Discord chat server. The miners and traders there donate Vertcoin to our cause every few days, and then we give it all away for free on the air. And also provided by our generous sponsor, our airdrops are provided by our generous sponsors over at Galactic Systems. Tell us a little bit more about Galactic Systems. Wait, never mind. We're going to have to go to a break, guys. We'll be back here. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. We'll be back here, and we'll get into some Galactic Systems when we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Love writes a letter and sends it to hate. My vacation's ending, I'm coming home late. The weather was fine and the ocean was great.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN-FM.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. Silver's trading at $17.02 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,315 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $53, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,858. Antiwar.com reports Syrian forces continued their offensive into the northwest Idlib province, seizing at least 14 additional villages from the rebels as they tried to advance against the Abu al-Duhur air base, which has been under rebel control since mid-2015. Idlib province has been held by rebels for years, and the number of rebels there has continued to grow, with evacuation deals around the country seemingly always leading to new factions being imported into the tiny province. With most of the major territory taken elsewhere, the Syrian military seems to have decided to finally contest Idlib itself, and these early indications are that they are making quite favorable gains, putting the rebels under even more pressure. Though many of the rebel factions will likely struggle if they lose their territory, groups like Al-Qaeda's Nusra Front will probably follow the strategy of the Islamic State of just disappearing into the countryside and turning back into an insurgency.
Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co.
UPI reports an increasing number of Americans identified as independent voters in 2017, while the two major parties are near their all-time low in popularity, according to a Gallup poll. The poll found that the percentage of Americans who identify as political independents last year increased to 42% from 39% during the 2016 presidential election year. The percentage of independents increased for the first time since 2014, when the number hit an all-time record high of 43%. Gallup said the dip in independent identification in 2016 and recovery in 2017 is a typical pattern for a presidential election year and the year after. Latent partisanship in some independents is likely activated in the highly political environment of a presidential campaign, but fades once the election is over. Gallup said the average over the past 8 presidential elections has been a 1% increase, although the increase has tended to be larger since 2005. The percentage of Americans who identify as politically independent is near its all-time high and remains the most popular political preference, while neither the major parties appear to be gaining in popularity. The percentage of Americans who identify as Democrat fell to 29%, which tied the party's all-time low in 2015. Americans who identify as Republican slipped to 27%, which is only 2 points above its all-time low of 25% from 2013.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports a federal judge on Monday threw out a criminal case against a Nevada rancher and 3 other men over a 2014 standoff with federal agents, saying prosecutors had repeatedly withheld evidence from the defense. U.S. District Judge Gloria Navarro dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning that rancher Cliven Bundy, 2 of his sons, and another man will not face another trial. Navarro had declared a mistrial last month. The judge's decision was a rebuke to prosecutors in the politically charged case, which arose from Bundy's grazing of cattle on federal land without paying fees for 2 decades. His defiance galvanized right-wing groups challenging U.S. government authority over vast tracts of public land. Bundy emerged from the courthouse to cheers from about 100 supporters and said he still did not recognize federal authority over the land where he grazed his herds. Navarro told a packed Las Vegas courtroom that prosecutors made several misrepresentations to the defense and to the court that amounted to misconduct and prevented a fair trial of Cliven Bundy, his sons Ryan and Ammon Bundy, and Ryan Payne. She said more than 1,000 pages of FBI memos were kept from the defense until well past an October deadline. Prosecutors appeared stunned after the judge's decision, and the Bundy family members wept in the spectator section. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Today's fitness trackers can tell how far you're running, but tomorrow's can tell you why you're running. The new Nike Run Logic Plus pinpoints the desperate psychological demons at the root of your exercise routine. Tech Trends reporter Aaron Vaughn has more.
It's a problem all runners face. You run and you run and you run, but it's never enough. No matter how many miles you put in, that gnawing ache at your soul never goes away. Now Nike's engineers have found a way for runners to use that existential pain to push themselves even farther. Users keep the device on their wrist at all times. It not only records running times and distances, it also analyzes all of the user's social interactions and emotional patterns. It then creates a unique, detailed profile that dredges the inspiring well of inner turmoil inside every runner. Early users say they notice a big impact on their workout.
I started marathoning when I was 28. I thought it was time to get in shape, but then once I realized I was actually running from my meaningless job in ad sales, I started running a lot more, like all the time.
This is the Onion News Network.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around.
Welcome back here. Welcome back to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. We are on our second night here of our new 5-night-a-week broadcast here live from the Vertcoin Studios in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire, where it is, well, it got like 40 degrees today. I was like ready to go outside in a pair of shorts.
Compared to the past few weeks, it's just been brutal.
Oh, God.
So it's funny when you can say to the rest of the country, yeah, it's a balmy 35 degrees here.
And we were literally colder than anywhere on Earth for 3 days in a row.
We were colder than Antarctica.
For 3 days in a row. We were colder than the South Pole. We were colder than hell. Literally, hell, Norway. We were colder than hell.
Yeah, and I had to take 3 days and live in a completely different place because my whole drainage system in my house froze.
Well, we had a family, some friends of ours that had to come and stay with us because first their thermostat went out in their heat, and then before the landlord could get that fixed, it dropped down again, and it froze the pipes and burst the pipes in their house. So they were like, when it started to thaw, they're like wading in ankle-deep water all through the house.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's going to be down to 20 below again. It's like, okay, well, we can't stay here. You know? So they came and stayed with us for a few days.
Oh, I did that with my landlord. I said, I can't be living here, and
I'm coming to stay with you, bro.
And they're like, oh, well, we've got this nice very nice luxury apartment across town, and we'll let you stay in for. And I'm like, oh,
there you go.
This is
nice.
Better than Residence Inn.
Works for me, man. There's some decent hotels around here. When we first came to town, I had to stay in the Best Western where they used to do the Keenvention for like a week, and it was pretty nice. The people that work there are great, and they did my laundry.
Nice.
They don't even have a laundry service, and they still did my laundry.
Are you sure it was them doing your laundry?
Yeah, I'm sure. We went into the laundromat there at the hotel, and the dryers were broken. So since the dryers were broken, their service staff did my family of 7, me, my wife, and our 5 children.
Wow.
They did our family of 7's laundry.
For how long? Just the once or?
For the week.
Yeah, nice.
Like 3 times. It was great. They just bring me a bag of folded laundry, like bags of. I'm like, this is life, yo. This is how rich people live. I could get used to this.
Yeah. So I finally talked to my landlord, not the managers, the actual guy who owned the house, and he described the problem as, well, I won't say the exact word that he used, but he called it a crapsicle, and so it was not fun in the Laurie household. So
Really?
We got that fixed, and I'm back at work, and so it's just was a interesting polar experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I grew up here, and I'm like,
That's
usually
what I've heard. This is like a once in a century event, and lucky me, I moved here like a month and a half, 2 months before it happened.
I just moved my head programmer into town from Kansas, which they have winter too, but
not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
And he's like, "What polar hellhole did you move me to?"
Right. No. Hell, that's in Norway. It's warmer there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Norway. Yeah, it's warmer where the Vikings came from. Iceland is warmer and Greenland is warmer than Keene, New Hampshire. But yeah, it got up to like 35, 40 degrees today. There was water on the roads instead of snow and ice. It was just like, wow, yeah, I don't need to sweat. Like, I need to take some of these clothes off. I'm overdressed. So now you had another story that you had brought to us about Joe Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio.
And the answer to your
Joe.
question, Aria, is yes.
Joe Arpaio.
But not anymore.
He is running for Senate.
What?
Yes.
Didn't he just? Oh wait, that's right. He was
Trump pardoned him.
He got pardoned from the conviction.
So now he can run for. Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's how Alan West
killing people in third world prison conditions.
That's how Alan West ended up getting able to run. Is he was basically they let him pay them instead of going through with his court martial and having him like convicted of felony, refusal of an order, direct insubordination, assault on an inmate, and kidnapping. Like, he literally kidnapped a taxi driver that had nothing to do with anything whatsoever. They tortured him, and they held a mock firing line execution.
So the mainstream media and the establishment Republicans are portraying that this is and that the Senate Republicans are scared to death that the media will make this essentially the Moore
Trump Part 2,
like the Moore campaign, the Roy Moore campaign, to Part 2 after Moore's disastrous loss in Alabama, and that the left is going to try to use this to essentially make the Trump regime seem like they keep failing.
Well, then they should stop running horrific amoral monsters if that's what they're scared of.
Well, it's not like it's the Senate Republicans who are picking these candidates. Joe says, I'm going to run. So the best that the GOP establishment can do is come up with their own candidate to run against him and hope that he wins. And, given that Arpaio was reelected for many years in Arizona, the odds that he would not win the Senate nomination from the GOP is probably pretty thin. So I think we're going to wind up seeing this as definitely, even if the establishment tries to put up a fight, it's going to wind up Arpaio against whoever.
Do you think that the GOP hasn't learned their lesson with Roy Moore about running ideologues just for the sake? Like Trump was your one ideologue for the sake of being an ideologue win.
Yeah.
That's your one. You get the one.
Well, you got Rand Paul.
Whatever, You'd have to stand for something to be an ideologue. Rand Paul stands for whatever he thinks will get you to vote for the next bill he's bringing out.
Well, but it is, like I said, it's Arpaio and Roy Moore. They're not the establishment's pick. Moore beat the establishment's pick in the primary.
And then lost. Because, okay, dear Republicans, nobody likes the people you like but you, and you are not as big a majority as you think you are.
No, it wasn't one of the commercial news items that the Republicans were down to like 24% of the nation identifying as Republicans?
Well, to be fair, I don't believe
about the same.
I don't believe anything the polls say anymore, particularly when it comes to Republicans. I mean, sympathy for the Republicans
or the Democrats, because they were telling us that the Democrats loved Hillary when the truth was they loved Bernie.
Right.
And the Democrat Party was just trying to sandbag the hell out of Bernie.
Right. But the pollsters are all working for the DNC. And whoever the DNC is pushing.
Oh, they certainly were.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
and I don't think that they've given up doing that. I think that all these numbers about saying that Trump is so unpopular, I think that's crap.
It is.
There's
complete crap.
They have this idea that they can just tell people what to think enough.
Right. And they can't. They're not getting the point that people are learning to think for themselves. They're finding all kinds of different sources of information on the internet, and they can't control that anymore. But rather than admitting it and trying to just work fairly and honestly, they double down on stupid.
Yeah.
Like Jamie Dimon continuing to say until 2 weeks ago that Bitcoin was a scam, in fact.
Of course.
Instead of adjusting to the changes, stick
no,
to their guns.
For me, it's no different. It's no different than these imams that are coming out against Bitcoin every week. You know. All right. Well, we'll be back 603-283-6160 here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up. We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 MHz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Pure Life Water, helping you drink better and live better by providing a zero-calorie alternative to sugary drinks. Visit us at nestle-purelife.us. When kids are playing, they often don't want to stop to keep hydrated, so send them out with a bottle of water and encourage them to take frequent drink breaks, or call them inside for a quick sip. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
A civilian casualty is flattered to have been mistaken for a Hamas leader, and an asexually reproduced sea sponge is worried she's turning into herself. This news summary is best enjoyed in a state of leisurely repose, so sit back, relax, and let the waves of condensed news gently lap at your brain. This is the Onion Week in Review. Hoping to foster a lifelong connection to the airline, Delta announced the launch of its official alumni magazine, Flown, this week, a quarterly publication for people who have been passengers with the airline at some point in the past. A press release from Delta confirmed that the magazine will feature obituaries, wedding announcements, and profiles of prominent flyers that celebrate the shared experiences and interests of the airline's 900 million alumni.
I think it's a nice thing for Delta to do. I mean, it's always interesting to just skim through an issue, see what the old boarding group's up to. It kind of makes me nostalgic for the few hours back when I was on that flight to Tampa. Simpler days.
This is the Onion News Network.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our VertCoin studios here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Joined today by Mike Laurie from
Howdy.
Galactic Systems and by remote, Miss Aria Demezio from CryptocurrencyCheck.org. And we've been talking about Joe Arpaio and his possible political aspirations. And, I was kind of commenting off the air that American politics has devolved from, it wasn't very good to start with. I mean, we started off with people that were shooting each other in the streets, Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton, we started out like
he was
shooting each
asking
other in the
for
street. But, right. But, now we've devolved to where basically American politics is celebrities and ideologues. And those are our choices now.
And they'll do that. You want to bring in the biggest loudmouths, and that's where things are going. I mean, you've got things like Joe Arpaio, who's kind of both. He's been such a national celebrity as the sheriff of, was it Maricopa County?
Sheriff, he is a modern-day sheriff of Nottingham.
And, his standing up against the Obama regime and his own state government trying to enforce his idea of immigration law and getting burned in the end because of the tactics he took. And he was convicted of profiling.
But it was always a paper conviction anyway.
Oh, yeah.
There was never any chance that he was going to serve time in the prisons that he created.
And then Trump pardoned him. And now that he's pardoned, running for Senate.
Well,
what better move up the ladder than from sheriff to senator?
Right. Now, joining us on the line live from Ohio, we've got Stefan from Ohio. Stefan, what do you think, and why do you think it?
I've got just a couple of brief comments on Joe Arpaio. First of all, when you see the guy's age, it's like, is this guy really running for Senate? He's going to be 86 years old. If he serves a full term, he's going to be 92.
Older than my dad.
They're all geezers. I mean, there's still senators who get wheeled in wheelchairs with drips taped to them.
That's older than my Arpaio is older than my dad, and I mean, to me, my dad was born in the 30s, yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you have to ask, should there be some sort of a limit on this? I mean, not only that, but this dude is a piece of garbage. But even then,
well, they put a limit to keep young people from running. They can put a limit to keep old people from running.
Yeah, I mean, where's the sweet spot there? This guy, if he wins, is going to be 86 years old. In my opinion, that's just way too old to be involved in any
he's
sort
not
of
going to be
politics.
running down the criminals in the alley. But so, if he's
I
with
wish
his
you
walker.
could.
I certainly hope the Republicans of Arizona could probably pick a better candidate. I mean, this guy's an absolute monster. I mean, he proudly proclaimed one of his jails to be a concentration camp.
Well, I mean, the Libertarian Party of Arizona does have Nicholas Sarwark that they could throw into the race, or they have what's that young lady's name? Melissa. I think it's Melissa Harmon. I think is who she is. She's
Hamilton?
Yeah, Marissa Hamilton. She's an advocate for children that are abused by state agencies. And like children, she's
that's not a legitimate form of abuse,
What? being ripped from your mother and father because the state thinks they have enough money to fight and spend to the state to get them back? I mean, to me, that's pretty abusive.
Sure it is.
But not to the state.
No,
The state
of course
doesn't-
not.
The state doesn't recognize that as a form of abuse. That's good for them.
So
Ripping them from their parents and putting them with people who are quite often abusive and then sending them back damaged for life. Yeah, it's great. Sounds
So the
wonderful.
question is, with this guy's record, do you think there's any chance in hell that he's going to end up winning the Republican nomination?
Oh,
He'll win the nomination.
I guarantee you he will. I will put good money down against anybody that he will win the nomination.
But I don't think he'll win the office.
I think that as soon as he wins the nomination, Democrats across the country are going to dump hundreds of millions of dollars to support his opponent. And you know, it's. And then another thing they'll do is they'll try to get this libertarian candidate out of the race as much as possible.
Why? Why wouldn't you want the libertarian candidate in the race? If you have a Republican that you really don't like, the libertarian is supposedly, according to the Republicans, bleeding off the Republican vote that would go to Republicans.
Well, Republicans will say that, but the Democrats say the same thing, that they bleed off Democratic votes.
Just from personal experience, most Democrats that I know see the word libertarian as like a 4-letter word. You may as well.
Oh, you might as well be a Nazi, of course.
Yeah.
You know, which is funny.
You may as well call her.
I read an article that straight up said Hitler was a libertarian.
It's like
I'm
that's
not
like
kidding.
Socialist,
and it was on like Medium or something.
Saying the term libertarian fascist is, you know, it's like. I can't think of a much
like
more.
saying gay Republican.
Well, there's plenty of gay Republicans. There's a lot of those.
Most of them are in the closet. But yeah. You don't find out.
Communist Republican. There we go.
Well, no, there's lots of. Here's what my rule of thumb. The easiest way to get a Republican to support a communist policy is to trot out a prejudice that they are personally attached to. So if you want a national worker registry, invoke Mexicans. If you want a national ID, invoke terrorism. But just find some prejudice that they have and tie, we need to pass this totally a plank of communism legislation. Will you please support it? Well, I mean, it targets brown people, so it's got to be good.
You want them to support gun control? Say it's to keep guns out of the hands of the black people.
Or, well, Muslims now, that's the thing. Like,
well, to be honest, actually, that was the basis of gun control pushed as Jim Crow laws by the Democrats.
You know, just to be honest, Democrats pushed that.
Well, hopefully Joe doesn't make it anywhere close to the actual Senate, and hopefully the Republicans in the state will be able to differentiate a criminal from somebody that might be half decent.
Oh no, I would love to see Arpaio in the Senate purely for entertainment value.
Right. Just to see him get.
I just want to see him chasing criminals through alleys.
Right, I do too. I want to see him run through an alleyway with a walker chasing a criminal. I want to see that. I want it on film.
Get back here,
I will pay 20 vert coin to whoever can get me.
You're on my Elon.
For real, can get me video of Sheriff Joe Arpaio chasing a perp through the alleyway like right now.
Oh my God, yes.
All right. Well,
I will add 20 to that.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Stefan. Yep. If you want to join us, you can join us when we get back here on the Call to Freedom, 603-283-6160. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to SaveItPurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. SaveItPurse.com.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Vertcoin studio right here in the Shire in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. You are welcome to call in and join us, please, here at 603-283-6160 or call us on Skype, listener line, LRN.FM. We've been talking here about Sheriff Joe Arpaio and basically how American politics has become the world of ideologues and celebrities now. Like, there are no... Like, Ron Paul was the end of the statesman. That was it. From here on out, you've got ideologues, you've got celebrities,
there's a big,
got paper chasers, and that's it.
And it's going to be interesting with Oprah in the race.
Oh, God. Harpo. So, I'm telling you, man, Oprah and The Rock together. The ultimate Democrat ticket.
Yeah.
Oprah and The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want The Rock to run for president because I want to see him, like, what was that thing that he used to do? I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Oh, that look like.
No, not the look. The thing, like, where he grabbed and, like, dropped them on their head. That thing. I want him to see him to do that thing to Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump. Because even if they lose the election, I got to see The Rock drop Jeff Sessions on his head. It doesn't matter to me. I'm good, I mean, I won't vote for him, But I would totally. I mean, I would pay to see like who like, can we get tickets? I'd totally pay.
Oh man,
it's last. No, it's less. Okay. Anyway.
But I mean, at least Kid Rock decided not to run, so there is.
Oh,
that.
he did. He pulled out of the Senate race.
Well, what I had heard was that he was never seriously talking about it anyway.
Oh, thank God. Ugh.
Yeah.
This whole thing is like one big joke that got out of hand. Like seriously, the whole thing is like one gigantic.
Well, isn't that the basis of
politics
status,
in general? Yeah, right. The basis of politics in general is a big ass joke.
Government started because you had a couple of cavemen sitting around, and like one says to the other, "Let's see if we can make this guy give us his stuff."
Right.
And they're like, "We took his stuff. Hey, this is kind of a cool deal. Let's keep doing this."
Right. Oh Lord. Oh, Arizona voters, please, God, do not. I mean, these are the same people that they like. He got elected in Arizona originally.
Repeatedly. By large margins.
Yes.
So.
But then again, I lived in a county in Florida where the only thing that unseated a sheriff almost exactly the same. His name was Ken Ergel. And he had a concentration camp with pink underwear and the whole thing, just like Sheriff Arpaio had. I'm pretty sure, based on like the almost exact carbon copy, that he was influenced by Ergel.
Oh, I bet.
Ergel was on 2020. It was so bad, and the state guard, the governor had to send the state guard to Ocala and force him with the state guard to shut down the tent cities. And this guy, this lunatic, wanted to buy retired diesel submarines to patrol the rivers and lakes of Marion County for DUI boaters.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating at all either. And when he got caught, he was caught with over $250,000 in money that he had embezzled. And he had like old retired helicopters. His mom had like $100,000 plus cancer treatment that had been paid for in cash, like all of this stuff. And they force him out of office.
If you're gonna be running a racket, you might as well, benefit from
real.
It, you know?
So they force him out of office,
and they criticize Bitcoin for
the lieutenant
being usable
sheriff,
for criminal
the assistant
activity.
sheriff is then appointed by the governor to Ergel's old job, and then wins re-election by landslide margins 7 elections in a row. And he's the right-hand man of the guy that just embezzled all this money. Like, he was literally in power from my senior year of high school till I was 30. Like, 12 years.
That's a career.
Yeah. After, like, being all up in the middle of this huge scandal of all these millions of dollars embezzled and abuse of power and all the state guard has to be sent in, and still that county elected him by huge margins.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
and there's a lot of places like that where their local politics overrides national concerns
or logic and reason.
The only thing really that would make a person pause about whether Arpaio can win the whole state of Arizona is that he won an election in Maricopa County.
Yeah, he's not going to win.
Which is Arizona is sort of conservative, but Maricopa County is really conservative.
Yeah. They're like the Coleman, Alabama of Arizona.
And
for those that don't know, Coleman, Alabama is the only completely dry county in the state of Alabama still.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Maricopa is like the Coleman, Alabama.
So maybe his public support in Maricopa is not going to translate to the rest of the state. I don't know. I tend to be skeptical because we saw the same thing with Roy Moore, and though he had been elected more to statewide positions, but we'll see. It'll be interesting and very entertaining.
I think Arpaio has more celebrity than Moore had, though, because I'd never heard of Roy Moore before this election.
I had heard of him a couple times, particularly over that what was it, the 10 Commandments on the monument on his front, on the court's front lawn and so forth. And
well, then he was the one who was he the one that told the city and county administrators not to acknowledge the gay marriage thing, or was that a different judge?
I think he had tried something like that, but I'm sure he wasn't the only one.
Yeah. You know, nothing says I support small government like using the fist of government to enforce my social values on the rest of the country.
Well, you know, that's anytime you get people in power who think that legislating is about legislating morality, their personal rather than ethics. You know, because they confuse ethics and morality, which are really not the same thing.
No, not at all. Well, legality and morality aren't the same thing, and that's massively confused in our society.
Well, legality and justice are also not the same
thing either. But they're massively confused in our society now. I mean, they're synonymous with each other in our society, when the truth on the ground couldn't be more, you know, in contention with that. You know,
yeah, I remember after the horrific shooting in Aurora, people all over the internet were saying, well, he couldn't really be a psychopath who lacked any understanding of morality because he didn't run any red lights on the way to the shooting. I mean, that's how confused people have become, where they consider running red lights to be a matter of morality.
Well, the state said you should do it or not do it, and a moral person does whatever the state says. Didn't you know that? Get in line,
apparently.
Slave. Duh. All right, well, we'll be back here in just a little while. If you want to call into the show, there's still time for you. 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160. Call in here. We'll be right back on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
In a while.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online. Someone else pre-internet who realized that attention is fragile? Motown Records founder Berry Gordy. In the early 60s, when his label dominated the charts, he'd bring a dozen real people into the Hitsville, USA studios and audition songs. And he'd ask, if you were down to your last dollar, would you spend it on this record or would you buy a sandwich? Today, attention span seems like an oxymoron. For tips on cutting through the clutter, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Segment here of our live broadcast of the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm, broadcasting live from our VertCoin studios today. I've been joined in the studio by Mike Laurie from Galactic Systems and live via remote by Miss Aria Demezio of CryptocurrencyCheck.org. And next story we've got here, this comes from Boing Boing. It says here, a Nebraska state senator proposes constitutional amendment to allow corporations to create tiny sovereign nations with no laws, taxes, or rules. In other words, my idea of heaven.
And Capistan in action.
Here it says Nebraska State Senator Paul Schumacher, and it gives you his phone number as well.
Nice.
402-471-2715 has proposed an amendment to the state constitution that would create 36 square mile regions in the state where corporations would enjoy up to 99 years of sovereignty with no city or state taxes and no local or state regulations. These states within a state would be confined to sparsely populated regions with fewer than 10 people per square mile. We're used to Republicans who've mistaken 1984 as a manual for statecraft, but Senator Schumacher is the first that I've heard who thinks Snow Crash is a blueprint for the future.
Someone else who's a fan of Snow Crash, my favorite novel.
Says, we're talking about Nebraska's future, he said. To build out here, you don't have to tear something down, and property is the ultimate economic tool. This presents an opportunity, he said, to essentially have your own state. And then Schumacher said, nobody else has ever done it, so why not?
I think they're going to wind up running into a constitutional issue.
Yeah, right, a little, you think?
Because under the U.S. Constitution, the only way to do what they're doing is they would have to, the state of Nebraska would, for each one of these, would have to pass an act of cession, not secession, where they cede control over that territory, and then that would have to go to the U.S. Congress for approval by the Congress, and that is a bit of
luck.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, right. It ain't happening. Well, it sounds state control, like corporate control of the state. That's straight fascism. Like,
well,
that's
not. It's
fascism.
Basically allowing corporations to create sovereign enclaves. And if you remember from Snow Crash, you have a situation where the government, due to cryptocurrency eliminating their ability to collect taxes, has a fiscal crisis, and they have to sell off all their assets, and they sell off sovereignty to territory. And so then they just become one more corporation competing against other authority corporations like Mafia Inc. and so forth. Yeah. And favorite part of the book where you've got the Mafia Inc. owns La Cosa Nostra Pizza, and they deliver your pizza in 30 minutes or they shoot the delivery guy.
That's great.
But in there, you've got corporations basically enable their customers to have citizenship in the corporation territory, and they get benefits and rights based on the agreement done. And so that's really something along the lines of an anarcho-capitalist sort of system rather than a fascist. It could theoretically allow an enclave owned by a corporation to operate fascistically, but by the same token, they couldn't keep people prisoner in that. It would have to be a voluntary, so it would be more of a BDSM type. Yeah.
BDSM government. Well, I mean, aren't statists really just masochists in truth?
Yeah, to some degree.
And sadists a little at the same time.
That's really what public school is about teaching. That's the primary lesson of public school is socialization, teaching you through peer pressure to suffer from a minor level of traumatic stress disorder that you sublimate as a worship of the state and an approval of initiation of aggression.
Isn't that really just the main difference between Republicans and Democrats, is that the Republicans kind of enjoy watching the state make you suffer, whereas Democrats like to brag about the fact they enjoy suffering at the hands of the state?
Well, on the other thing, the Democrats, at least when they're in power and they're doing it, it's for your own good.
It's always for your own good. Yeah. Even the ones that want to throw you in a rape cage for a joint, that's for your own good. You need to learn a lesson. You know, my mom is straight. My mom is straight up just like that. She grew up in the 50s, sticking her head between her legs because that was going to save you from nuclear fallout. Was, you know, hiding under an aluminum and particle wood desk, and putting your head between your knees. But she came from that totally brainwashed and conditioned generation, more so I think than mine, because we didn't they had kind of gotten rid of the air raid drills and all that kind of stuff.
I'm old enough to remember the air raid drill, the duck and cover, when I was really young, but they had tossed them out by the time I started getting to middle school.
My mom is from that generation, and her view is if you get arrested, you either did something wrong, or you did something wrong you didn't get caught for, and now you're being punished for it now. So, even if you're in jail and you're innocent, you still
must have done something.
Deserve to be
you wouldn't be in those sort of circumstances where they catch you at something.
Exactly.
Unless you were living not a good life.
Exactly.
Like being black on a sunny day.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like being Pakistani on a sunny day, which is not quite the as high of a casualty rate. But oh my Lord, that was a very unfunny joke. I shouldn't have even tried that one. Oh my!
No comment from this end.
Horrible brand of humor. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we are doomed. Like, it's going to be Demolition Man. We're going to have the corporation wars, the fast food wars. The world is eventually going to be run by Taco Bell. And
after that, I'm looking forward to the meme wars, where you have little pieces of information in your brain running your brain, and as everyone's brains is a mass network of processing power, and you'll have all kinds of memes of different ideological persuasions trying to get mind share every election.
Right. Oh my God. You are on some next level technocracy stuff right there, yo. I'm good. I am good. I am good. I watched 1984. I saw it. It was a good movie. I'm good. No, really, I'm good. Oh, goodness. All right. So tomorrow we're going to have Chris Wise. Chris Wise, right? Wise? Wade. Chris Wade. Oops, my bad. Chris Wade from Think Penguin will be joining us in studio. We'll also have Aria with us as well. We don't really... we do. No, it's not you. You're Thursday. We've got Galactic Systems coming in to tell us about Grid Phone and Galacticoin on Thursday. We're going to have James Lovejoy, the main developer for Vertcoin, coming in on Friday. But tomorrow is just crypto news. We're going to be covering the biggest in crypto news all day all crypto hour on Wednesday. Aria is going to bring in her coin of the week, and we're going to take a look at a coin or an ICO token that's been reviewed by cryptocurrency.org, and we're going to explain why it's either a good investment or a really, really bad idea. So listen to us tomorrow, same time, 4 to 7 p.m. here on LRN.FM. Call to Freedom. You can also join us on our YouTube line, live on the TuneIn app, or on our live Twitch feed. Or, as always, you can just run over to LRN.FM and watch us there, or listen to our listener feed. This is Will Coley and Mike Laurie, Aria Demezio, CryptocurrencyCheck.org signing out. We'll see you tomorrow here on The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Freedom Fiends with Michael Dean and his weird friends.
Mr. Michael Dean, and this is my show, Freedom Fiends.
I love that.
I hope you like it. If you don't, I don't really care. I don't make it for the masses. I make it for the cool weirdos who are up late at night. Insomniacs, swing shift workers, the homeless. Yeah.
People in other countries.
People in other countries who are at their day job that's 9 to 5. Good point. Good point. The unemployed, the underemployed, the worried.
Okay, y'all. Now, if y'all are feeling a little worried tonight and you've got a hamster running around in your brain, we have a solution for you. Just put your hands on your computer or your telephone, and the spirit of the fiends is going to come rushing right through, and it's going to heal you.
Listen on LRN.FM Monday through Friday, midnight to 2 a.m. U.S. Central Time, and weekends, noon to 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by Freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. Silver's trading at $17.02 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,315 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $53, and the average price of Bitcoin is $14,858. Antiwar.com reports Syrian forces continued their offensive into the northwest Idlib province, seizing at least 14 additional villages from the rebels as they tried to advance against the Abu al-Duhur air base, which has been under rebel control since mid-2015. Idlib province has been held by rebels for years, and the number of rebels there has continued to grow, with evacuation deals around the country seemingly always leading to new factions being imported into the tiny province. With most of the major territory taken elsewhere, the Syrian military seems to have decided to finally contest Idlib itself, and these early indications are that they are making quite favorable gains, putting the rebels under even more pressure. Though many of